Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. We have about a minute about to start. If you could please be so kind and share the video and give us some little likes and little hearts as we go on with the conversation. If you have any questions for Miss Continental, please drop them in the comment window below and we'll get to them at the end of our show. Please share the video. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in and thanks for joining us tonight. It's a special night tonight. Yesterday we had the beautiful Mimi Marks, and I want to thank you all for watching and for your comments and all your questions and the interaction that we had last night. And I want to remind you that this platform is for whoever, it's there for whoever wants it. We are creating conversations with our entertainers across the nations from the LGBTQ community, getting to know each other a little better in this time where we are just far apart. And I hope that this platform is useful not only to get to know them a little better and each other, but also to be able to interact with each other about situations and issues that we're facing today. I have a great lineup of entertainers coming up in the following weeks that I'll get to towards the end of the show. And I want to, this is for them. This is for each one of my guests here tonight. So if you find it in your heart to please give a little donation, we truly appreciate it. And without further ado, I have a special guest tonight. She is one of the most loving and kind people I've met in the past year. She's an incredible entertainer, and she was lucky enough to be crowned Miss Continental right back in September. This is Vanessa Van Cartier. Hi, Vanessa. How are you? We can't hear you. We can't. I think we have a problem with the connection. I'm gonna disconnect and then you can connect again, okay? Sometimes we have these difficulties, but we'll get them worked out. So I want to remind you, next week I have Joel and Christian from Angel City Continental. They're gonna be here on Tuesday, sitting with me, and then on Kennedy Davenport on Wednesday and Layla LaRue on Thursday. It's gonna be a great lineup next week, and we have some fabulous stories to share with you all. The story about Vanessa Van Cartier really touched me when we were able to speak to each other about it, and she really has a light within her that it's great, beautiful. So I'm very excited that she'll be sharing her story for the first time today. So let's try this one more time. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, perfect.
It's working?
I hear you fine. Yeah, I think it's working fine. I think we might have a little bit of a delay, but we can work with that.
Okay.
Perfect. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you. I was
You look
kind of
stunning.
nervous.
You're a little
Thank you.
nervous?
Yeah, it's always, you asked me this week if I wanted to be part of it, and you wanted to tell me what would you ask me, and I told you I don't want to know nothing because I don't like to answer automatically. I like to be real. So I'm curious what you're gonna ask me.
Well, it's, a lot of it is going to be from your story and everything that we spoke about, which is, I think, enlightening and also very important for people to see a side of you that they have never seen before. So I'm appreciative of you to coming on this platform and sharing your story with everybody else. I
Thank
want
you.
to ask my viewers, is the sound okay? Because I feel like I have a little feedback, but I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. Okay. So if I can get some thumbs up, that would be great. Amazing. Thank you. So, so we're gonna start a conversation, Vanessa. And our first segment on the show, it's called Back to Basics. So I want to dive in right into it and see what you have to say. So this first segment is me trying to get to know you and our viewers trying to get to know you. Okay, so I want you to please tell me the basics that we would know about Vanessa Van Cartier. You know, what is your name? Where are you from? Where were you born? Do you have any brothers, any sisters? Your birthday, your favorite color, your favorite song to perform.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna turn off 41 in December. I'm from 79. I'm born in December, and I'm born in a little village next of Brussels in Belgium. My mom is Flemish. That's the language we speak in Belgium. And my father is Sicilian, so I'm half half. When I was 6, we moved to Italy, where I stayed till my 18, 19 years old. I have a brother. I have a brother 34 years old. I'm auntie. I have two little nephews. And yeah, when I was 19, I decided to go back from where I came from. My life was not easy. I can understand that everybody have problems, but I never really saw my ups and downs like problems. I believe problems are in life to solve them. Otherwise, life would be a little bit boring. I had a really turbulent life. I didn't have a pleasant life, but I can tell you, if I needed to restart, I would like to be the same boy with the same ups and downs that brought me to become the person who I am today.
That's beautiful. Do you have a favorite color?
Yeah, it's orange. My husband is Dutch. The orange is the color of the Netherlands. And yeah, I think orange is a beautiful color. When you have sunset, the sun is
It is
orange, and
beautiful. It's orange and beautiful. Yes.
most of the people love the sunset. So yeah, that's my favorite color, orange.
You definitely just recently made a significant move. You know, you were in Chicago and you were, you know, getting into the ropes of moving and staying, being here in the US, and you made the decision to move on your own. And now you're at St. Louis, Missouri. How was that?
Well, when I start to tour, no, let's start from the beginning. When I came to America, Christoph and Paolo, my promoters, opened them door to me. I had a wonderful life over there. And I start to travel. I start to do my first prelims, my first and my last. I didn't did so many. And you know, I like to sniff culture. I like to see different places that I never saw before. And my last stop was St. Louis. Now I need to tell you that some parts of St. Louis, I call it the countryside. I don't know how you call it. Reminds me a little bit home. In Chicago, everything, or in a city, everything is in blocks. And here where I am, the roads remember me kind of my hometown in Belgium. And yeah, I stayed here. I was guest at Danielle Hunter House, where I receive a lot of love together with David, the owner from Mary's. And I started to be curious because I started to like it so much. And I asked if it was an expensive place to live. When they told me that rents are not that expensive in the area where I am, I started to be more and more curious till I found this little space where I fell in love. I always love to be independent. I also choose the difficult way because in Chicago, Paul and Christoph have a wonderful house. They have a jacuzzi. They have a fancy kitchen. You know, it's easy when people tell you you can open the fridge and you can choose whatever you want. And I did the opposite because I always felt very independent. And I'm from the meaning, when you do a big step and you cross the ocean and you come from so far, I like to explore. I don't mind if I take a door in my face. If I fell, I stand up, but I have the feeling I'm doing the right thing. You know, I'm the kind of girl that don't go by rules, but respect the rules. And these are two different things. And if you respect them and you are a kind person, I don't think you can hurt nobody. You cannot please everybody, but you cannot hurt everybody. So I took the decision to be alone. And look, I'm very, very happy here.
Good, good. I'm so glad. I know that I was able to see a little bit of the outside and the space that you have at home, and it's quite beautiful. I want to start getting into your story because I know that you have much to say, and I don't want our viewers to, miss on that. So we're gonna start diving deep. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
But before I begin, I want to show you and share with our viewers a little clip, a message that we got from Christoph this morning.
Oh,
Hey Raul, hi everybody. So thank you so much Raul for doing those beautiful interviews. So as far as what I can say about Vanessa Van Cartier, we don't know each other that long because it was very fast from the time I first met her to the time she decided to compete to Europe Continental. There's no doubt she's an incredible artist. But beyond that, the girl knows what she wants. I can tell you that. There's not much credit that me and Paolo can take for a win at Continental. She's a determined professional and one of the most kind person I ever met. If you do not know her, you really should try to find the time to do it. Vanessa, we love you.
So that's a great
well,
suggestion. We're gonna
you
get to know you, and that's what this space is for. Go ahead.
you needed to tell me this. I don't.
Wait, I have a few other surprises for you. So let's dive right into it, Vanessa. You come from a very traditional and conservative European family, and being able to freely express yourself was unacceptable. And you had to leave your house at a very young age with only a plastic bag with just a few things in them, right? And you had to make it on your own. There was no question about it. Tell me a little bit about that journey.
So, like I said before, my mom is Belgian and my father is Sicilian. We come from two different families. My father is Sicilian, comes from a very poor family. He didn't have a great education, and my mom comes from a very wealthy family with a lot of education. Me and my father never had a good relationship. I don't blame him because he didn't have an education. But I can tell you, it was a very tough childhood, mine, with aggressivity, with the macho mentality, with the taboos that in the 80s and 90s were in Italy. I really had a hell like a childhood. My father never accepted the fact that I was a gay boy. He refused to accept reality. So he started to become more and more aggressive. And I can tell you an example. My uncle, brother of my mom, coming from a wealthy family, when I was coming in holiday once a year to Belgium, he was giving me fancy clothes. My uncle, the younger brother of my mom, is a gay man. He started to give me all these fashionable clothes. But when you are 14 years and then you go to school, most of the people go in a jogging, and I was going with skinny jeans with pointy shoes, and of course people and children were laughing. I mean, all the village was laughing. And my father, instead to to defend me was going at the school telling that I had mental problems. So the bullyism was high and the defenses were low. So I needed to do it on my own. My mom was always there to defend me, but when Papa was saying it's gonna be on my way, it needed to be on his way. I mean, bruises were not only mentally, but were only also physically. When he discovered that I was gay, he had an heart attack. My father comes from Sicily, and I respect every culture, but they were looking in those time a little bit only in one way, and I was ashamed for him and for the family. So yeah, you understand that my childhood was not that fabulous till one day he discovered that I was gay and that I started to perform my first steps in the business in Italy. And we had a huge fight, and I jumped from the balcony because I really thought that he would hurt me very, very, very much. So I broke an arm. And I started to run. I started to run in the fields. And I remember I run for, I think, an hour. And I end up in another village where I knew people, and those people brought me to the hospital because my arm was broken. I jumped without shoes. So imagine running in the field, my feet were all damaged. It sounds like a drama movie, but it's the reality. And then after the hospital, I decided to not go back home. And the only solution I had was to going for free to live in an institute where they had junkies, because I didn't have a place to go and I didn't want to go to the same village. Of course, after a couple of weeks, they discovered where I was, and my mom was desperate and she was begging me to come back home, and I did it for her. But the relationship broke again after a couple of weeks because his anger and his transitioning on his way was not fast. So he couldn't place it, and we had again an horrible fight till I decided to leave Italy. I ran away, and I had literally a little bag with 2 underwears, a jeans trouser, and a pair of socks. And I came to Belgium. My grandmother picked me up at the airport, and my grandmother, fantastic lady, she said, I'm gonna help you for an whole year. I'm gonna give you the apartment on the seaside that we have in Belgium, and there you will work. You're gonna work like a waiter because that's the most easy thing to do in summertime, and you're gonna start to save money. And with my help, I promise you will make it. And that was my fabulous start. Thanks of my grandmother, without paying rent, without paying telephone. We had a fixed telephone where I couldn't call her or call my first friends that I met there. I started to make the first step as an adventurer. And that person was Aurelio. Aurelio was my name. And the first steps in Belgium at the age of 18, 19 years old started like this, without any contacts for some years with my family.
I know for a fact that, you know, this is just one of the few examples of what you had to endure during your childhood and your teenage years. I mean, we're not going to get into the details of everything that you endured and you suffered, but it was a great challenge for you to live and to be able to express yourself during your teenage years. I know it was tough. Your father is now one of your best supporters, you know, and we know now that that wasn't the case always. It was a back and forth situation between you two. Can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with him back then in comparison to the relationship that you have with him now?
So like I said before, you had aggressivity, you had bad words, cursing, making fun, let you feel different. The fact that my own daddy was making me feel abnormal and different was the most painful thing, more than a blue eye or than a broken rib. When I came into Belgium, because I did my first steps in the drag scene in Italy, with the first money I start to gain, I start to buy my first wig. I started, that was the time of Mariah Carey with her butterfly ring and her shorts in jeans. They were cut. So at the time I had, half naked butt. It was not vulgar, but it was sexy. And I bought a beautiful top and I started to clean glasses in a club in drag. And then people start to give me the chance to do my first lip sync songs, and then slowly become someone in my little country, Belgium. And my father asked me at the time, I want to come to visit you, after a while that we were not speaking together. And I start to panicking because I thought, oh my God, when he gonna come? I need to hide my makeup. I need to hide my clothes. He don't need to know nothing about it, because I didn't want to have again the same troubles. Right. And then my boss, he had a chance to meet my boss. And my boss told him, listen, say, you know, Salvatore, I think you should come to see a little show of your son. And my father didn't want to know nothing about it. And my boss told him something beautiful, say that little shy boy. I'm sorry. That little shy boy can become a very secure person on stage. You should really come to see him with your wife. And so he did. And my father was not drinking. And at the time that the show started, he was out drunk, because he drank like 2 GB with Coca-Cola. So that was kind of funny. But the reaction, you see, everything turns about prejudice and what people think. Because people were clapping, were screaming my name. He had that feeling, they are clapping for my son. Oh, they like what he do. Oh, I'm proud. I'm the daddy. And slowly, that reputation start to build, and that form of respect. But when he discovered that I wanted to transition, again, drama. I didn't speak with him 2 years. He didn't want to talk with me. I was not allowed to talk with my mom. They were really gray days and painful days. Once the transitioning was done, he accepted to see me, and he looked at me, and he started to study me, and he started to take care of me, but not 100%, because he didn't knew all the 100% reality. My reality was doing my transitioning step by step to do full surgery. And I remember once he accepted the half of surgery, he told me, I hope we stop there, because I will not accept if you do the last step. And after a couple of years, again, the same drama. For 6 months, he didn't want to talk with me. We went to Thailand, me and my husband. I did the surgery. I called mom just 2 days after surgery. He picked up and he said, I told you to don't call anymore. I don't have a son anymore. So that was difficult. And I let it go. I say, it is what it is. I did my best. And after a month of surgery, I came back to Belgium. I started to recover in my own little living room. I couldn't do the stairs, I remember, from the pain. And out of the blue, I got a telephone call from him. And I picked up the phone like nothing happened. Really, like nothing happened. Like it was yesterday, the last day he called me. Say, hey, Papa, how are you? And he was surprised, because he thought that I would give him prejudice. And I didn't. I never did, and I would never do it. I remember he said on the phone, forgive me. And I said to him, listen, Papa, I forgive you. and I forget. The thing is, I had time to do my transition in 5 years long. You didn't have this chance to transition because nobody guide you. But if you allow me to guide you, I will guide you to become a better father. And I know they're going to have a beautiful relationship together. My husband talked with him a lot, with the result that today my father opens the door of the car. He calls me his doll. And my father was the first person to call me Vanessa after surgery.
That's just beautiful. I think your
Oh, I
life.
cannot hear you anymore.
Oh, you can't. Let me try to reconnect again. I
Cannot
think that
hear you
because
anymore.
somebody called her. I guess because when somebody calls you on the phone, for some reason the audio goes back. So we'll wait until she reconnects back. Let me try to do this for her really quick. It's an amazing story what Vanessa, the journey that Vanessa has endured. And let me remind you all that when her father finally accepted her and called her Vanessa for who she was already 39 years old. It's almost an entire life with a back and forth trying to make amends with her father, and it just didn't work on either side. Hi, now you hear me.
You were able to hear what I said?
Yes, everything.
Okay.
So I know that your life helped change your father's life. He's able now he helps your mom clean the house. He helps your mom cook. He does all these things for his wife, and now he was the first one and only one for a long time in your family to refer to you as Vanessa. So
I was not able to have a father for 37 years, but I was able to have it on my 37, and to have a family that is happy. um, I'm not mad at him. It was, I'm gonna be a bit rude, it was a pain in the ass, but I'm not mad at him because, and this is not the typical talk because I need attention, but it's because of him that I became who I am today. Um, I left so many tears in my life that I can fill a swimming pool, but it was all worth it because my father today have a wonderful education. I educate my father, and on his way, he educated me. And that's for me the most important thing. If the last 20 years of my life, of his life, or 30 years, I can say that I had 30 fabulous years with the man that changes his habits and his state of mind. It's not easy to change a person when you are 63 years old. And he calls me every day. And he suffer a little bit with kidney problems. And the first seconds is, oh, I'm in pain. And then I looked at him and say, Papa, you know what I did. Done. He smiles. And that makes the thing so easily. Because with kindness, it's really true, Raul. With kindness, you can cure everything. I'm
absolutely.
not a nun. I'm not a saint. I say bad words. Um, but with kindness and respect, you are able to get everything.
This love conquers all. You
It
were very
is.
young. You were very young when you knew that you wanted to transition, and your transition was gradual. First you had the facial surgery. You started at 30 years old, then your breast augmentation at 34 years old, and then you had your full sex reassignment barely 3 years ago at the age of 39. Many trans women in the entertainment industry, they decide not to take this last step. Why did you decide to do that?
But first of all, when I started, I think I started like, let's say, most of the girls do. You want to experiment by yourself. You don't have patience. You want to do your first injection. You want to have the pills. And if the doctor say one pill, you take 3 pills because it needs to go fast. But the thing, I was scared because I was a very unhappy boy. I was even bitter. I was probably also, no, I was not that kind like today. I couldn't make somebody happy if I was not happy. Um, I decided to start with the hormones, but never stopped. Once you start to take hormones, I speak for myself, but I think it's most of the cases when you start with testosterone blockers or injection or pills, after a while your genitals start to don't work anymore. And I knew that if I was stopping, then probably they would work again. But it's a roller coaster of emotions. When you stop and you take again, and then you feel good, and then you feel sad. I thought, no, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna probably have different and difficult moments of, let's call it depression, of sadness because of the hormonal effects. But I never give up. And in the beginning, I didn't want to do full surgery, but it's probably because I never stopped that my state of mind started to change.
Right.
And that's before my big depression that I had after surgery.
Let's talk about that. You have an impressive and respectable career as an entertainer in Europe. You have been the winner of some amazing, prestigious contests in Belgium, in France, in Greece, and across the continent. Working tirelessly, sometimes doing 120 to 165 shows per month, which is which is
No,
a lot.
A year.
Per year.
A year.
However, when you finally achieved what you desire the most, which was your sex reassignment, your sex change, you lost it all. You had to make a living cleaning toilets. You fell into a depression. You got addicted to painkillers and morphine, and you even thought about suicide.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit of what happened and how did you gain it all back?
So, like you said before, I had the chance in my life, I had the opportunity to perform for 4 months in Greece on the island called Mykonos, and working every day for 4 months and a half without one day off. Well, you can tell there are a lot of gigs, plus the ones that I had in the fall and in the winter were giving me a lot of work. Plus the people that comes from all over the world to Mykonos, they start to give me also gigs across the border. I mean, Sinbad, London, Spain, Ibiza, in Spain, that was a wonderful chance. But when I started to transition and I did the first part, I felt, I think I'm gonna lose some work, but I didn't give up. So from 160, they became already only 120, just the seasons in Mykonos. But then when I did the surgery, I wanted for myself, I needed to have reflections with myself, with meditations with myself. And I decided to put my phone on the side and to recover only me, my husband, myself. And I don't know if I did the good thing, because once I felt, oh, I want to perform again, I'm going to start again to call the places from 150, 60 a year. I had only one a month, because the queens and, when you gossip and you say horrible things about someone and you say, oh, she stopped, she's a wife now, she stopped, all those lies were the damage of my career that was important for me. And then I couldn't handle the pain. I started to be addicted to morphine. I was finishing a box of ibuprofen a week. I was taking 6-7 pills of morphine a day, and I was taking 2 sleeping tablets a night, till I felt it's not working anymore. I'm like a plant. There is no life in me anymore. I don't feel anymore the passion to go on. And I start to have really suicide thoughts. I thought it's time to go. And I was thinking, how I gonna do it? Do I gonna take a knife, or do I gonna take pills? In which way I wanna leave the earth? And I remember I received before, 3 months before, a book of my son that lives in Dubai, the book, The Secret, but I never read it. It was still in the box. It was still in the closet. And yeah, I was, after 3 months and all this depression going on, I was thinking how to live, how to finish my life. And I start to cry, and I say bye to my personal stuff. And you need to know, I have a little dog. It's a Pomeranian, my little Annie. And she chose for my husband. She likes to be with Stevie. She likes to be with me. But it's different. A dog always choose one of the two person, and she choose for him. She never comes to me. She just come to me when she want to eat or play. And that day, that hour, that second that I was planning to leave the world with pills, she came, because she's very tiny, on my shoulder, and she started to lick my tears away. So I start to realize something wrong is happening here. And she continued, and I put her away. She continued to lick me. And then I woke up. I say, I'm doing wrong. What I'm doing? I think she saved me. I start to scream. I throw all the medications away. 3 weeks after that, I throw the medications away. I felt that it was hard, because I need to deal with reality and not with painkillers. And I made it. And at the same time, the book came in my mind, and I start to take the book, but the book of The Secret, it's not actually a book. There are all little quotes.
Right.
And I thought, oh no, I'm too tired for this. I cannot read quotes. And my English became a little bit better now, but it was not that good before I came to America, or better. And I decided, I took the book, and I opened the book like this. I don't know how you say it. Choice.
Yeah, you just randomly opened it.
Yeah. And I start to read just 2 pages, and I was shocked, because everything was written, was my feeling at that moment. And I start to be very scared about it. I said, that's freaky. And then I started to do it the second day. And I started to focus myself about what the universe does with us. When you ask something to the world, how you need to ask it. You need to be determined. And then, I needed to go clean. I need to go clean toilets,
Because you had no job. I mean,
I didn't have a
this was right
job.
after your surgery. You had 4 or 5 months in, where you had bed rest, and you were under extreme pain, because the type of surgery that you got were, also for including the nerves. So to be able to have some more sensitivity, and it was very painful for you. So that's why you were taking the painkillers. And
it was, I'm sorry, it was
Yeah.
another, I don't want that people think, maybe some girls that did the surgery are looking. I did another procedure. I did another technique. I got 700 stitches almost at the inside. I chose again for the difficult way, but I knew that would deliver me more happiness, because, like I said, I'm not a nun. I mean, I have my times with my husband too, and that's important. And I didn't wanna think that I did the wrong decision. So I took a bigger risk. But at the end, I'm very happy with what I did. And I started to clean, the toilets. And I suffered. I really suffered, because that was not what I wanted to do. It. I mean, it's a job like another, but I felt that's not my time to do that. I have something else to give. And people, they gave me like 1 or 2 gigs a month, but it was not enough for me, because I did it all my life. I did it for 21 years. And it's really true. It happened. I was cleaning, and it's like something came in my mind, and a light, I don't know. And I stopped, and it was like a voice, and something told me, you're going to do something right. And I was shocked. I was surprised, because I went to Stevie at home in the evening. I say, Stevie, or I'm becoming crazy after all those medications. But I had the feeling, and Steve is a Buddhist, and he told me, no, everything what you ask, you get. And I got the opportunity to enter a big pageant in Belgium that calls the Show Queen Awards. You can inscribe yourself in different categories, and I wanted to make my life again difficult, and I did every category. I wanted to show that I was able to make makeup, to do makeup. I wanted to show that I'm able in 20 minutes to change from Vanessa, or let's make an example, the elegant, trying to be the elegant person, to Edward Scissorhands, two completely different faces. And I was able, with a result that I won on that night, 8 awards, and we had 9 to win. That only award I didn't win was for Baby Drag Queen. And
A newcomer, we call it
yes,
newcomer.
I don't say this because I want to put myself on a pedestal. I say it because I'm proud of it, because that was the start of my new life. And most important, I gave hope to every transgender that was not allowed to be on stage in Belgium because of the prejudice. That now we broke the taboo, and we live in a free country where, at least if they say you don't have the right, some people would say yes. Vanessa says yes. And I'm happy because I was a voice. I didn't ask for much. I wanted to be a voice, and I've learned that no one have the right to tell you where you belong. If you are a man, if you are a woman, if you are whatever, who want to be on stage, need to follow his dream. Because if you don't have dreams, you stop living. If you don't have hope, if you don't have faith, we don't have a life. So I promise myself that no one will ever tell me where I belong, because I will always follow my heart. I am the person that counts. I respect the others, but I put myself in first place. If the people agree or don't agree, that's not my problem. If you do it with kindness, you will always lose somebody in life. But you cannot love everybody. You would be a hypocrite. I'm gonna ask you, if you have 100 people, do you love 100 people? Do you think you will be able to love them all?
No,
It's
I don't think I will
impossible.
be able. Yeah,
It's impossible, because we're always gonna find something that don't connect with our energy. So
it is.
at least,
These are words of truth. I mean, you obviously have a certain growth of in your character, and it shows not only when you speak but also in what you embody, and that's admirable to see. I wanna talk about a little bit about um, the contest that they were seeing, that you were talking about, because they can see on the screen a picture of you, glamorous Vanessa, and then able to change into in 20 minutes to this, to Edward Scissorhands. And that's, that's pure talent. It's incredible. It was 9 categories, and you entered all of them, and you won all of them except obviously the newcomers. So that's admirable, and that was the push that you needed. We're going to
I
move into the
needed.
next segment, Vanessa, and then we're going to continue talking about um, what came next.
Okay.
So then came the opportunity to do Continental. I know that to enter the prelim, Europe Continental, which was in France and you lived in Belgium, you had to drive 8 hours to compete. And then right after the competition, you had to drive 8 hours back because your husband had to go to work. So you won the prelim in France, Alliance in Europe Continental. And then you came to Chicago to compete into the Miss Continental pageant, and you won. You were beautiful all night. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And I want to touch base in certain things here. Even though you speak 6 languages, you speak Italian, French, Dutch, Spanish, Portuguese, and a little bit of Greece, right? I got that right.
Yeah.
Um, your English is not your first language, obviously, and you spent 6 months learning your prelim talent, which was Gladys Knight.
Yeah.
However, which landed you a spot on the top 12. However, the most controversial talk about the pageant was your number final night, which conveyed a very powerful message. In your own words, what is the message?
Before I tell you what's the message, I think people need to know that when I studied Gladys Knights, it was years before, like 4 years before Continental, 4 or 5 years before. I choose to do that talent because it's dear to my heart. She's one of my favorite singers. And if we go back to second night, I don't think I did a talent. I'm still saying the same thing. For me, that was a statement. They were talents that night. And you can see with Trinity Bonet, she won talent that night. I'm not able to kick and to jump and to jive how they do. I have rhythm. I wanted to tell my story. And what I was hoping the most was passing the top 12 just to do my talent. I heard from many girls, it's very difficult to win the first time. It's very difficult to be a European. So that part was out of my mind. I was sure I could deliver something, but I tell you with all honesty, I didn't expect to win. I think my light that night was a bit brighter than the others, but that's because I was true to what I wanted to do. My fabulous friends, promoters, Christophe, I remember he told me, Vanessa, I don't think it's a good idea. You should find something else to do. And then I said, Christophe, after a couple of weeks, because I didn't dare to tell him, I said, please, Christophe, I really want to do it. And Christophe said, I respect every decision that you make because it's your pageant. I can guide you. And then wonderful stole of Joshua and Christophe, the night of the final night, told me, Vanessa, we need to find a way maybe that you cover your breast with pasties. I had pasties on before you take off the dress because that can shock people. I said, yeah, I will do it. And I lied because I knew I would not do it. I don't have nothing vulgar to give. And even if I was naked, I didn't show nothing vulgar. I show a person on bare feet without hips. I'm not ashamed to tell, my little wig on, I have some problems here of hair. I mean, when you see all those models doing Continental, they look like Jessica Rabbit. I was fat. I had 7 pair of stockings on. I'm flat. I just wanted to show that it's okay to not be okay. And that song that I did was my life. And I just showed who I am. And I'm really, really happy I did that. Christophe told me with Paolo, we are so proud of you. We learned to listen on another way, the person. Even they always did, but they had a lot of trust in what I did. So I followed my heart. I was real. I never lied. And the Vanessa you guys saw that evening is the same Vanessa that you see now. Raul, I'm not the best in life. And I'm not the last. If you take all the people around the world and you put them all next to each other, being in the middle is perfectly fine. And I'm in the middle because I don't feel the last and I don't feel the best. So I'm a real person. Not everybody can love you. Some people were mad because I won. I'm not lying. I saw the videos. I saw some formers. They were not happy. But I don't blame them. I'm not angry. Some would say, who is she to come here to beat some girls that are already doing for 3-4 years? My real winning, Raul, will be at the end. I compare my life, what is happening here in the States, with a game of Monopoly. Once you start to play, you need to do step by step. You need to buy houses, you need to buy hotels. Once I'm around and I win, the day I give my crown back, there I gonna feel that I was a really queen. Because you know what I think about myself? A real queen in my eyes is a person it's a good person. And before you are a queen with the tiara on your head or a crown on your head, you need to be a queen in your heart. If you are not that, you are not a queen. You can be as beautiful as you want, you can be amazing as you want, but if you don't have the values of life, you will never be a queen. So
I truly
I'm on my way to be a good queen. And one day when I leave, I would be so happy when I hope people would say she was a good girl. That's only thing that matters. It's that.
on that note, I want to share a message from um, Mr. Jim Flint himself about you.
I guess I'm here now to say something about the wonderful Vanessa, Miss Continental. I can tell you the first time I even knew who Vanessa was, one of our good customers, Rich, asked Chris if we could book her here for a booking. And I said, Chris, I don't like to book anyone I've never seen before. And Rich is such a good customer, we took a chance on it. Was I amazed. She is one of the kindest, sweetest, real people that I have ever met, and talented. She is truly an all-around girl. I love Vanessa.
Little by little, we're falling in love with you. And I think that one of the purposes that I had with this interview is to be able to share your story and to show really who you are, because a lot of us don't know your story, your journey, and I wanted to present that to everybody else. What I felt, knowing you, it's what I wanted everyone to see. So I know that you have been also living a difficult time because all of this pandemic just hit, and you're not able to go home. No one's able to come here. You have decided to stay here in the US because it's an opportunity. You decided to take it on, and you told me that you had to sacrifice yourself to be able to be better, to have better things in the future. But one of the persons that you miss the most is your husband. Tell me about Stevie.
Stevie is my life. Stevie, to tell you how Stevie is, when he proposed me to marry him on the beach, like in a movie, he said to me before my transitioning, he say, Pupia. Pupia is my nickname. That means little butt. He say, Pupia, I don't have problem to marry you like Aurelio. And I will never have a problem to marry you like Vanessa. But I cannot marry with two people. It's you the choice. I give you your time. I will not push you, but you need to make a decision. And there is where my eyes opened. I put the fear of my daddy away. And like a turbo, I ran in a new life. Stevie is a tattoo artist. Is my best friend. Is my soulmate. Is everything that a person could desire. Is my lover. Is everything. And I miss him very much. I really miss him very much. And it's difficult. But the love that I get around, I fell in love with many souls here in the States. I can name them. I can go on for hours. Christophe, Paolo, my friend Joanne came from Belgium, from France. I have Jim, all the girls from the Baton, Joel, Christian, Nico, Che, David, Danielle. I can go on. But there is one person that really here in America gave me the feeling that I have a big support, and that's my auntie. I call her auntie. That's Armani Tari. I don't know if you know her.
Yes, I do.
Lauren. She calls me 4 times a day, 3 times a day, just to say hello, just to say good night. And the words that she uses in English looks the same as the one that Stevie used for me. So I'm feeling very, very lucky. I'm really feeling lucky. I have an amazing father, let me call him father figure, that is Jim. It's an amazing man. He calls me 3 times a week. These girls is I am very lucky. I am very lucky. And all my sadness that I had transformed in happiness, because I know I'm doing the right choice, and that gonna makes it more beautiful the day I gonna see the people I loved again that are far away from me. Yeah,
I
I love
have I have one more question for you. You know, when we spoke, um, and we shared so much about each other, you mentioned that you live your life by a simple motto, which is happiness is your choice. Happiness is a choice. And I want to
happiness is,
ask you, are you happy?
I will never we I think people will never know what means happiness, because happiness can go very far. But if you ask me, are you serene? I can tell you, yes, I'm a serene person. And happiness is a choice you can make. You can make your, only a disease or a sickness that comes between life can make you unhappy. But when you have health, you are the person that guide your life. If you play PlayStation, you decide which side you want to go. And that's what I'm doing with my life. Happiness is a choice. I came on this world to be happy. I sacrificed too many. I rent. I'm sorry. I've been through misery, and now that everything is solved, I want to live as best as I can. And I don't ask for so much. I have a roof on my head. My friends are healthy. I'm living an amazing dream. For a European saying, I'm in America, I'm following my American dream. So you are the one that can judge me. I think I'm a happy person. I'm serene for sure. Yeah.
Vanessa, I wanna thank you not only for giving me the opportunity to present you and your story, but the truth, the wisdom, and the intelligence, and everything that you embody. It's really admirable. It's really admirable, and I hope that everyone that watched tonight or that is watching now um, has fallen in love with you as much as I did when I met you.
Thank you
Thank you
very much.
so much for giving me the opportunity to 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 have you here and to share this with you. And I want you to do me a favor. I'm gonna let you end the show,
Oh,
and I just want to say, I want you to say thanks for watching, or thanks for watching me, or for watching the show in the 6 languages that you know.
well, let me think. Obrigada por ver essa entrevista. I think it's Brazilian.
Portuguese.
Merci de voir cette interview in French. Bedankt allemaal om te kijken in Nederlands, in Dutch. Grazie per vedere questa mia intervista in Italian. Gracias para
Por sintonizar.
para sintonizar. And Greek, because I speak only half, is Evcharisto Parapoli. And then the name, how you do definition to watch me, I can tell, because that really looks like a disease. It's a very
Thank you so much, Vanessa. I truly enjoyed you, and I hope everybody at home enjoyed you as well. Thank you
Thank you
so
very,
much.
very much. Have a beautiful evening and stay safe, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Ciao.
I mean, she's just a beautiful person. I have nothing else to say, but I hope that you enjoyed her as much as I did. Her story is just amazing and inspiring. And please follow her. And if you wish to give her just a little token of appreciation, please follow her Cash App. It's right there in the comment section, and also in the subject of the post. I hope that you follow next week. We have incredible guests. We have Kennedy Davenport, Leila LaRue, and Joel and Christian from Local Queen Merch and Angel City Continental. Thank you all for watching and tuning in, and I hope you still support this platform every day by sharing the videos and giving some likes. Thank you, and have a good night.